Stay loaded for Bellinger with 2 down.
Flies it into right field. Back it goes, at the wall. Soto at the fence, leaps, it's gone. Wow, what a night. What a night.
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Will Leach. Today is Monday, May 19th, and my mission, should I choose to accept it, is to tell you everything you need to know about baseball and to do it in under 10 minutes. It is also my mission to drive a motorcycle off a cliff, rappel down the Burj Khalifa, hang on to the side of a plane as it's taking off, and to jump up and down excitedly on a couch. But you're going to have to pay multiplex prices to see all of those. The baseball stuff, I promise, I'm going to give it to you for free.
On the ground, Alonso. What do you do? He threw it away. It wasn't close, and the Yankees have a lead as Alonso air-mailed it to home.
In the rubber game of the 3-game set, the Yankees and Mets battled back and forth all night, with the Yankees taking a 2-0 lead in the first, Mets battling back to tie in the fifth, and every pitch feeling like October, but, warmer. In the 8th inning, the Yankees finally broke the tie win, with runners on second and third in the infield in. Jorbit Vivas hit a ball to Pete Alonso. He threw it home, only to an imaginary catcher who was 20 feet tall. Francisco Alvarez, alas, is only 5'11". Thus, an error that gave the Yankees a 3-2 lead. Paul Goldschmidt then drove home another run, but the big moment, here's Cody Bellinger.
They stay loaded for Bellinger with 2 down. Swings and sends one to right. That sends Soto back. He is on the track. He reaches. It's a grand slam.
Yankees ended up with a pretty thrilling 8-2 win. It was a pretty fun game, but every game was exciting. But honestly, the crowd this weekend, it might have been the best part. Nobody sat down for basically the final 2 hours, and it was loud. Both these teams are in first place. Both of them have inner circle stars having MVP seasons, and both of them might just win the World Series. Wouldn't it be great to see them have to go through each other to do it? On May 2nd, the Twins were 13-20 and looked for all the world to be toast. But then, thanks in perhaps no small part by the 6 games they got to play against the sinking into the Earth's core Orioles, they turned their season entirely around by rattling off 13 straight wins. Well, I have some bad news, Twins fans. The winning streak is now over, and now Buxton and Correa are hurt again from running into each other, no less. First off, the end of the win streak. The Brewers jumped out to a 4-2 lead off Zebby Matthews, making his 2025 debut. But the Twins nearly tied it in the 8th when Lewis, one Twin star left standing, launched a pitch to deep center field. Looked like it was going to tie the game, but Jackson Chourio, he respectfully disagreed. Brewers scored an insurance run in the bottom of the 8th, and they eventually ended up winning 5-2, snapping that Twins win streak at 13. After the break, the Orioles fired their manager over the weekend. I'm not sure it helped.
Tough day all around. Got a lot of love for Hyder and a ton of respect for him. He's meant a lot to me over the last few years. Obviously, he gave me a chance to play, believed in me, and so we'll miss him around here. The nature of this game is, when you underperform and they make changes, and it sucks, but that's how this business goes.
No team has been more disappointing to start the season than the Orioles, a team that, despite 2 straight years of fruitless playoff trips, some people, including the guy talking right now, picked to reach the World Series this year. That disappointment manifested itself in a managerial change on Friday when the O's parted ways with manager Brandon Hyde, who had been in charge since December 2018. He was replaced on an interim basis by third base coach Tony Mansolino, who is going to try to turn things around. He may have to try a little harder. The O's lost his first game 10-6 on Saturday, and then they got pounded again by the Nationals 10-4 on Sunday. The Orioles responded to this by DFAing pitcher Kyle Gibson. That should do the trick. Good luck, Tony. It kind of looks like you're going to need it. If Will Leach is hosting the Morning Lineup podcast, you know that every game is going to get its due, whether it deserves it or not. So, it's time for the whip around.
Got to challenge him right here. We'll be messing around with the corners, breaking balls, and dirt. Just boom, go right after him.
There you go. Strike 3 called. 9 strikeouts in his major league debut. He joins Kurt Simmons for the high water mark in Phillies history. That is incredible.
There was a super exciting young pitcher on the mound for the Pirates-Phillies game Sunday, and he outdueled Paul Skeens. Despite a 9-strikeout, 1-run complete game performance from Skeens, the Pirates could not solve the riddle that was the Phillies' Mick Abel, who, in his MLB debut, struck out 9 in 6 scoreless innings in a 1-0 Phils win. That was the good news the Phillies got on Sunday. The bad was that closer Jose Alvarado has been suspended 80 games for testing positive for exogenous testosterone, violating the MLB's Joint Drug Prevention and Treatment Program. He'll miss the postseason as well.
Quantrill is now 1 strike away from an immaculate inning.
The 0-2 is swung on it, missed, strike 3.
Do it, Country. Do it, Cal.
That is an immaculate inning for Cal Quantrill. 9 pitches, 9 strikes. How about that? The 116th immaculate inning in Major League history.
It's special. 9 pitches, 9 strikes. The Rays continue to look for that splitter, and he had his way in the 4th frame. How about that for Cal Quantrill?
Happens about 1 in every 20,000 games pitched.
Cal Quantrill pulled off the first immaculate inning. Yes, it's more than a game on your computer of the MLB season, the 4th inning of the Marlins' 5-1 win over the Rays. It's actually the Marlins' first series win over the Rays since 2018.
Paredes, a couple of fly ball outs and a line out today for the Astros' third baseman. And that's in the air left field. Langford angling back near the corner to the wall. Leaps up. Did he get it? He did not. A 3-run shot for Isaac Paredes.
Isaac Paredes launched a go-ahead 3-run homer in the top of the 8th to give the Astros a 4-3 win over the Rangers, salvaging a split of their series at Globe Life Field. Well, the Tigers remained unstoppable. Spencer Torkelson had a 2-run double, and Jackson Jobe threw 6 innings, giving up just 2 runs to raise his record to 4-0, as the Tigers beat the Blue Jays 4-2. The Tigers have the best record in baseball, a fact I will mention every time I do this podcast, as long as it remains true. Hey, Drake. Braves catcher Drake Baldwin had 2 more hits, raising his average to, 531 this month as the Braves wallop the Red Sox 10-4. Cardinals and Royals combined for 21 hits, but only 3 runs on Sunday. But fortunately for the Royals, the last of those runs came on a Michael Garcia tie-breaking single in the 8th inning, and the Royals' 2-1 win. The Cardinals' loss allowed the Cubs to raise their lead in the NL Central to 2 games after they completed their weekend sweep of the White Sox with a 6-2 win at Wrigley Field. Nobody tell the Pope.
As Will Benson comes to the plate, he has not yet had a multi-home run game. Yes! 2 bombs for Benson!
That was the Reds' Will Benson hitting the second of his 2 homers on Sunday as the Reds swept the Guardians with a 3-1 win. Benson has homered in 4 straight games, which is more than you've homered in. West Coast Whip Around Lightning Round. Where were you in June 2010? I personally was getting married. Happy early anniversary, honey. I'll tell you where the Angels were in June 2010. With an 18-year-old named Mike Trout in single-A Cedar Rapids, they were sweeping the Dodgers. That's something they hadn't done till Sunday when they beat their SoCal rivals 6-4 to finish off a shocking series sweep at Chavez Ravine. Did you know the Padres have a losing record since April 15th? Well, you do now. The Mariners completed their Vetter Cup sweep of the Friars with a 6-1 win at Petco. Brian Wu got the win and lowered his season ERA to 2.65. The Giants got 2 in the 9th to come back and beat the A's 3-2. Giants swept that series. Now those lovable A's have lost 5 in a row. And after scoring 14 runs on Saturday, the Rockies couldn't muster up a single run against Merrill Kelly and the Diamondbacks, losing 1-0. The Rockies' win streak is over. And that's all for today's Morning Lineup Podcast. Thank you for listening. Please be sure to give us a rating and review and tell everyone you know about this podcast. Matt Monaghan will envelop you in his warm embrace tomorrow. I will return with you Friday morning. Goodbye.